Wait for the stream to get up before I start talking a bunch. I don't know how long it takes the stream to get up and running. Goodness gracious, I am tired. I need more. Do I have more in here? Probably, yeah. Alright. Welcome back. Of course I have to sneeze once I start streaming. Nixie, no. Lay down, honey. Lay down, puppy dog. So as y'all know, I missed a couple scheduled, or one scheduled stream? Multiple scheduled streams? I don't know. I missed scheduled streams, and I am now back on another scheduled stream, but a little different. So things happened. Your guys' suggestion of the whole have a farm in the end for Enderman to get XP was a really good suggestion, and I spent quite a while researching it, and I made one, and everything was going fine except for the fact that I forgot that I cannot trust myself with anything to do with edges, and netherite gear may not burn, but it definitely goes into the void just fine. So, yeah, I fell off the bridge when I was coming to or going back from that farm because it was like 4 AM and I was overtired as hell and wasn't paying enough attention to the game. And, that was the end of that. There went all of our netherite gear that we've worked so hard on. So I've spent the last many hours off stream trying to get most of the gear back through a lot of enchanting and a lot of trading and all kinds of stuff. Again, I still haven't cheated, I still haven't quit the world. I very much so wanted to quit the world that night. It was very late. I was running on a long time of no sleep and it was very late, and that made me just want to like completely delete this world. But we've done a lot of work to it and it's just a setback. We can get it back, so I have to kind of remind myself of that. So what I've been doing is doing this lovely little automated sugarcane farm, half automated sugarcane farm, to get some paper, to trade paper with my villagers over and over again for levels and emeralds, and then I got some books, and then, so basically I am pretty much, I didn't want to stream because as much as I would love having the kind of like grinding on stream so that I can just chat while I did a bunch of stuff, I really didn't have the energy to talk while I was getting all these hours done. I was genuinely just super hyper focused in the game, just really focused on sitting at my skeleton spawner for the whole day while I was doing things in my house or doing things like that so I could get XP, so I could get things to trade, all sort of things like that. And I just didn't want to stream it. I just didn't have the energy to stream it. So now that I'm a little bit back towards that goal, I have almost everything enchanted. I still need some levels to be able to finish combining some things to finish the enchantments. And I do have to go netherite. I do have to go mining for getting more netherite so that I can get everything back to the netherite stage again, but I'll have to mine for ancient debris to do that, which means we'll need to make some more TNT and stuff, which we should have enough to do, and spend some time doing that, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. That'll be a stream soon enough. I wasn't going to stream today either because I actually have a ton to do today off stream, and I don't really have much time to play Minecraft today. But I really do miss streaming and talking to you guys, so I wanted to be able to at least pop on for a little while and kind of explain what happened and talk to you guys a little before I have to do other things. Today is very busy, this week is very busy, this weekend was really busy. I would have had amazing time to do streams, but I just didn't have the energy to do it. Like, I genuinely didn't want to talk, and at some point the muted streams get kind of tiring because I don't like not being able to talk back to you guys. Like, as much as I don't want to talk, people are like, oh, hey, how's it going, and talking to me, and I just want to talk. I just want to be able to chat with people. I love chatting with all of you guys. You guys are amazing. Like, even our new friends that pop in once in a while, I absolutely adore learning about everyone and being able to chat for a while, even if people don't stick around for more than just a little bit of a stream, even if people only stick around for one stream. I don't mind. I love just learning about you guys and being able to have some time with you, so when I set out to do a muted stream and then I'm sitting there like using the chat a lot or wanting to answer chats, I just feel so sad. So I didn't really want to do it. This weekend was pretty busy. Well, this weekend was another weekend that I was home alone for most of the weekend. Ended up being pretty busy because I spent most of one of the days up at my dad's so that I had something to do and to tire Nixie out and stuff. We got the first snow of the year, or at least first snow that's going to stick for a little bit, last night / yesterday, so Nixie's extremely excited. She hasn't seen snow since she was a little baby puppy, and she is so happy about it. She absolutely loves snow. She's bouncing around in it like crazy and eating whole mouthfuls, and every time she's outside she has like snow stuck to her entire muzzle because she keeps sticking her whole nose in the snow. She is so adorably excited about it, and I love it so much. And then later on today I'll be going out to dinner with my mom and going to bigger city with her to do it so that I can get some stuff for Nixie that I need to do. We did end up making enough money for Christmas money and set it aside, so we have to do Christmas budgeting and stuff because even Amazon's Prime delivery is out like a week, so we really need to get stuff delivered. But we keep procrastinating on it. Mainly I keep telling him we need to talk about it, and then he does something else. So we gotta figure that out. I don't even know what I'm getting him. I have a $200 budget and I don't even know what I'm getting him, which is really annoying. But that's because I spent $200 on his birthday stuff, and I'm also dreading what he's going to get me, so yeah, it's a mess. But we've got a lot coming up in the next couple weeks, so the streams are going to be a little staggered, a little bit different of a schedule, that sort of thing. I've also adjusted my meds schedule for when I take my meds to try to help my sleep schedule fix itself a little bit, which means that I'm not awake until 1 or 2 in the morning as often, so I can't stream until then as often like I used to. So it's going to be an adjustment period. I've been taking my meds really early in the morning, so I'm actually functioning by the time the normal day comes around, and so that I'm not awake at 1 a.m. still running off of my meds. And it's been working okay. I've only done it. I did it for 1 day last week before the weekend hit, and I went back to my normal routine of just taking them whenever I wake up. And then I did them today, and I didn't get much sleep at all because I didn't sleep much last night. And then I couldn't really fall asleep with the meds in my system, so I didn't really sleep at all after the fact like I normally do. I was up since like 9 a.m. roughly. I tried to sleep for a few hours, and then I just stayed awake. Nixie, please come here. Stop chewing on the cat post. Come here. You do not eat cardboard. You don't eat cardboard, honey. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a lot of stuff going on in the next week or so because I'll have to check my calendar and let you guys know what's going on. The schedule's definitely going to be very different for a bit. Today I'll be getting off probably 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock if I push it long enough, maybe even sooner if I don't want to stream that long, because I have to take a shower. I also have to try to bathe Nixie, I think. I might not. I don't have conditioner, so I don't know if I can bathe her yet or not, and the conditioner's not supposed to get here until next week. Nixie's going to be having weekly baths as long as I use conditioner, because it's a good routine to keep her used to the bath, and it's a good routine to keep her smelling good and feeling better, especially with conditioner, since it'll help her with her kind of itching and all that sort of stuff and make her feel a little softer and all that. She tends to stink within like a week of getting bathed because of the fact that she usually rolls around and things and plays outside a lot and all that. Nixie, leave her alone now. Nixie, leave it. Leave it. Get up here. Get up here. Don't give me that look. You're not gonna go after the cat all day. So I have to do that with her. I was gonna do it today, but then I'm debating it because I don't remember the last time I gave her a bath, and I'm worried that it's a little too soon right now, and it might be a little too drying for her skin when I don't have conditioner for her. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Lou's going to have a different setup soon so that she can get fixed. I'm gonna open my calendar while I do this so I can look at what's coming up. So yeah, so next week is a very, very busy week. This week isn't nearly as busy, except for the fact that we do have to get some Christmas stuff ordered, so it'll come in. Next week is going to be extremely busy. So next week, the 22nd through the 25th is when, or maybe the 26th, I'm not sure, is when my partner has time off of work for Christmas break and stuff, and for an extra day he took off of vacation. The 22nd will be when Lou gets fixed. Fun. Gotta love Roblox. Roblox is a mess sometimes. Like, I genuinely adore the game, but some people are really toxic on it. So on the 22nd, Lou is getting fixed finally, which is really good for her because it's gonna help her not be in heat all the time. It's gonna help her hopefully not pee anywhere in the house again. It's gonna help us not have to deal with her screaming all the time when she's in heat because she runs around the house yelling. and stuff like that. So she'll get fixed on the 22nd, which is like an all-day thing. We bring her in the morning and then pick her up in the afternoon, and they just go through the cats as they have them and fix them, and then all that. And then when we take her home, she can't do much jumping and stuff like that, so that she doesn't stress the stitches. So we're gonna set up a space for her in the bathroom. 1 second. I don't know what you're after, but get up here now. You're not supposed to be out of sight chewing on things. Bless you. Come here, Nixie. Come here and lay down, babies. Come lay down now. Thank you. Hi. 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 Why are you in my face today? Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Little puppy dog. Little puppy dog. A puppy dog. What are you doing? What are you doing, big girl? Can you get off of my leg? I don't need 60 pounds of pressure on my leg. Thank you. Can you not? You can lay on me, but don't stand on me. I don't need 60 pounds of specific pressure on one part of my leg. It's rude. It's rude. Come here, puppy. What? What? As you can tell, Nixie's a bit of a clingy butt today, and in general lately, because of the fact that my partner's been leaving more often and leaving for longer. She's been a little bit more clinging to me, and also a little bit more just kind of like all over the place energy wise. Like, she was really anxious a lot more over the weekend and over the week because of the fact that he was always disappearing and then coming back at different schedules than normal and all that. So she's a little clingy to me, and she's a little hyper today because she slept in. I let her sleep in, which was a mistake. She was just so cute, and I didn't want to wake her up, but since I didn't wake her up, she's now very well rested and ready to just race around the house and run around, and I don't want her to. Nixie, please stop. Chew on your rope, please. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you all day, honey. So everything got different on this as far as we lost a lot of things, and I'm trying to slowly regain them. Everything in real life is a bit busy and hectic, and next week will be probably a very rarely streamed week. I still have to schedule streams out for the uploads on the VODs channel. I know those are really bad trades, but I don't mind because it's not bad to get more paper since we have tons of bones from the skeleton farm. So I don't mind trading an absolute ton of paper for emeralds. I'm fine with that. I haven't added anything else to the village besides filling in the farms, and then I did block off the butchers and set them up, and I got a couple more butchers made, and I also have been trading with them when I can, so there's that. Not much else has changed, really. I haven't been working on the actual world itself. I've been too busy trying to get XP and trying to keep improving so that I can get all of this earnings back or all of our items back for our play, but it's a bit of a mess. Nixie is really irritating today. Come here now, please. Sorry for muting repeatedly. I'm mostly just arguing with the dog every time I'm muted because she doesn't want to listen today. I'm gonna go try to mine for some ancient debris because I think we can also get some XP while doing so, which will help with getting some of the last items combined. I'll have to put some of the armor on that I've made so that I'm not a mess of bad armor for the nether, since I'm not good at the nether. That sort of thing. It's a mess. We still haven't figured out what to get the pets for Christmas. I mean, I think I'm gonna get Nixie like a new bed. I'll probably get Lou a bed so that she can have a little bed in her setup for when she gets fixed, because when she gets fixed she'll need to be probably in our bathroom, we're thinking, because it's the safest place she can be where it's not, oh, I already finished my armor. I didn't realize that. It's the safest place for her to be where she's not constantly getting into trouble, and where she's able to be away from the dog and not have to jump around to get to things and all that, because that's kind of the main requirements, is she can't really jump around too much when she has the fresh stitches, and we don't have anywhere else where she like won't jump around a bunch. I mean, we have the second bedroom, but I think if we shut her in the second bedroom, she's going to claw up the carpet, because she likes to claw up carpet. And if she claws up that carpet, that's going to cost us a lot of money, versus just keeping her in the sanitary and safe little bathroom space where she can just, everything can be in one space and she's able to get at everything, and she can claw up whatever she wants because there's really nothing to claw. And we can give her like a nice comfortable bed and all that sort of stuff so that she'll have a place to be and it'll just be fine. So that's what we're going to do probably, which means I have to set that up soon since she's getting fixed next week. But it's a mess. I genuinely am so overwhelmed lately. My meds are like half working, where I'm either wide awake or I'm absolutely exhausted. I have to talk to my doctor about it, but I haven't talked to them because I'm kind of still pissed that they're leaving at the end of the year very soon. Basically, like, I spent 30-something hours wide awake this past week, which is another reason why I didn't stream, because I was running on very little sleep and trying to get everything done at once. In those 30... Oh, goodness. Speaking of tired, those 30 plus hours that I was awake, I was not tired even once. I was wide awake the entire time. And then I finally passed out eventually after that, and I slept a little while, but not that much. And then sometimes I just crash. Like, over the weekend, this weekend, I slept for easily 12 to 16 hours, out cold, did not wake up once, would not be disturbed, and was still tired after the fact. And then there's days like this where I'm on around 5 hours, 6 hours maybe, and I'm perfectly fine. It's like a weird fluctuation between what my body wants to handle or what my meds want to give me for sleep, and it's really irritating sometimes. So I'm still working through that, which is also why this stream schedule's been a little wonky. I'm trying to figure out a lot of stuff in real life as well, because there's a lot of tension and stuff in my relationship, and a lot of situations of like, I want to be a lot more independent and I can't be. I really want to try to get an outside job or find another income stream, which would likely be something like, let me go up here, which would likely be something outside of the house, sadly, because as much as I cannot handle being outside of the house, it's really the only option around right now that'll, you know, actually hire me, and that's, come on. Why do I have everything all messed up in this? I don't need these. It's the only situation that'll actually, like, hire me right away and make me a decent amount of money, and also, I can't really afford to be on my own or be more independent without some other income stream. I do have an at-home job that would make me a lot of money, but I don't have usually the energy to keep up with it. It's just kind of sitting as an on the back burner job right now. Like, my boss knows that I've been dealing with a lot mentally, and she's been pretty fine with me just kind of taking a break. So I've been on break from that job for quite a few months now, with an undetermined kind of, when am I coming back, we don't know sort of situation, which is fine with her for now. I don't know for how much longer she'll be fine with it, but she's been fine with it for quite a while. And I don't have the energy to go back to it right now. I really don't. It involves a lot of like calling and talking to people the whole time, because it's a sales position. So it's really fun sometimes, but as far as my current mental state and like me being very autistic and not being able to handle constant small talk and constant dealing with humans, it doesn't go well. I did really well with it for the first couple months that I was on the job, and I still really do like the job, which is why I'm on break instead of having quit it, but it's just not something I can handle mentally right now. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that or what's going to happen with anything really. I'm trying, but the other thing I was saying is that I need an out-of-the-house job for the main kind of income stream. The problem is that getting an out-of-the-house job right now isn't very likely, and it's going to be a whole different set of issues because of the puppy. So, Nixie, leave her alone, please. So yeah, so getting an outside job, I would have to have Nixie being either watched or crate trained. She's not currently crate trained because she has containment anxiety and separation anxiety. So A, she freaks out really bad from being contained in a small space, and B, she freaks out even worse from being away from one of us or both of us. So it gets her way too high of a stress level to be at home in a crate, which is why usually either I'm home or she comes with me wherever I go or things like that. I don't bring her into public access, don't worry, I'm not stupid. I don't bring any animals that are not service animals into public access spaces, only into pet-friendly spaces, and I don't bring Nixie into even pet-friendly spaces because she's still too reactive to really bring her in anywhere right now. Would you please leave the cat alone? Stop! Get up here and lay down. Get up here and lay down. Lay down. Thank you. You know what I'm saying and you're not listening to me most of the time, and it's very rude. So yeah, I would have to crate train her, which is going to be a really difficult task. It's possible, it's just going to take a lot longer than just like a couple weeks of half training her, you know. It's going to take quite a few weeks, if not months, to really train her into a space where she's really comfortable with being at home in the crate and she can handle crate training, and she's not going to be hurting herself or destroying things from anxiety and from being on her own in the crate, because I wouldn't want to leave her there if she's going to hurt herself or break things, and I can't leave her outside of a crate because I know she would break things, because even if she isn't anxious, she has destructive tendencies and likes to bugger off. She has destructive tendencies and she likes to chew on things, so regardless of whether she was anxious or not, if she was home alone, she would be destroying things. It's just kind of a fact of the situation that both my partner and I know and acknowledge. So we can't really leave her home alone anywhere yet, which is the big problem of if I wanted to get my own job or stuff, I have to figure that out, which I haven't been able to figure out completely yet, and I don't know if I'll be able to figure out. But it's just a lot of things going on in real life, and that's why I haven't been around, and I miss talking to everyone and being on stream so much. And like, I'd love to pursue this as something as an income stream, but I know it's not something that would be an income stream anytime soon. I mean, the closest we are to a milestone is VIP, which is 50 followers, and that's kind of slow going, and I just don't like being pushy about getting money online. I'm not a person to be like, here, donate to me, here, subscribe to me, like this type of stuff. I'm perfectly fine with being pushy about like, hey, follow me to stick around, because it's free. It's just people that want to hear my content and chill with me, but it gets to part of the money stuff, and I'm just not good at specifically being like, hey, let's pay this random stranger money. No thanks, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not the best stranger to contribute to, so yeah, it's just a mental mess right now, and I'm doing my best for you guys, and I'm doing my best to keep things going, but it is exhausting. I'm hoping that this coming weekend I can just spend a weekend, or not like a whole weekend, but at least spend a couple days or like a night at my friend's house, because my partner keeps leaving really constantly to go to his friend's house, and it's been exhausting, and so I told him I'm literally going to ask my friend if I can spend the night at his house one of these weekends, and he didn't really argue with me, so I'm hoping that means I'm fine and I can just go to my friend's house. So I'm going to ask my friend when I see him again, just because as much as I love Nixie, I need a break from her sometimes too, for one, and for two, it's kind of a tit for tat type of thing where like I'm really tired of him leaving me alone, so I'm trying to show him what it feels like in a way without being really rude about it, because I don't think he even computes the fact that leaving me alone really sucks. I think he's just kind of naive to everything all the time, so it's a mess. I've been alone with the dog every weekend for many weekends now, and it's just, it wears on you. As much as I love being around her, she is a lot to handle, and she is in training, and I'm constantly training her and handling her. And he doesn't even understand that, because when he's home with her on his own, he doesn't like train her or anything. In fact, most of the times I come home after being gone for like 8 hours, and he's like, yeah, she hasn't been out at all to go to the bathroom, and she didn't get up, she didn't wake up, so I just didn't give her food and this sort of stuff. And it's like, no, that's not how that's supposed to work. You still have to feed the dog and wake her up to go to the bathroom, even if she's sleeping. What? So, I don't know. I don't like leaving her with him either, so usually I just prefer him to do whatever he's doing, and I'll stay home with the dog. I don't care. But I just want a break for a minute before Christmas time comes and we have to rush around for all of the Lou stuff and all of the Christmas stuff and all of that. Like, I'm expected at both of my parents' houses for Christmas, and I'm expected at my mom's house before Christmas for seeing my grandfather and doing, like, we do a little pizza and presents tradition with him and my grandmother at my mom's house every year, and it's become a really like stuck to family tradition, and it's still happening this year. It's just happening not on Christmas Eve, and I have to figure that out, and I have to figure out like who can watch the dog for that, and there's so many things, and this is just a smidgen of what goes on in my brain lately and why it's been a bit of a mess. But trying my best to keep up with you guys, because I know you guys also deserve updates, and I like talking to all of you, and you guys are like my little family. So, one second. For heck's sakes. Hey, it has been a while. I haven't streamed in quite a while, and I haven't been able to talk with everyone, and it's really sad, and I've been trying to explain that in very long, winding circle ramble talk for a bit now today. And I'm only going to be on for a little bit today, because I have a bunch of stuff to do in real life still. Which sucks. I miss talking to everyone, and I miss my little stream family. I miss being able to kind of chill with you guys during the day and spend my day just talking and playing games. I've been playing this a lot off stream during the day, even while doing other things, because I've been doing a lot in real life during the day instead of doing streams, because I lost everything, which is really sucky. So I've been trying to get a lot of XP back, which means I usually just kind of turn on Minecraft and go to my skeleton farm and sit there AFKing while I do a bunch of other things, and then kill skeletons, and then go do some stuff in the house and that sort of thing over and over again. It works pretty good. I've gotten quite a few levels. As much as it looks like I don't have any levels, I've gotten quite a few levels because I've gotten almost everything back. The only thing I don't have started yet of the tools that we did have is the Silk Touch Axe, and then I haven't finished the Silk Pickaxe to max that out, but I do have it started. So, just a couple things that have to get finished off. I've been trying my best. The reason I came in to do Ancient Debris, even though we're not finished with all of that, is because A, we can use this lovely nether quartz for a bunch of XP and then to trade with villagers for more XP, and B, we need the Ancient Debris for getting some of the stuff we already have enchanted back to netherite, so I may as well do it at some point. So why not now, real quick? It also gives me something to do that doesn't require too much focus, so I can talk to you guys and update everyone, so... yeah. I don't even know what has happened or when the last time I streamed was, to be honest, off the top of my head. Like, I'm trying to remember when the last time I streamed was to tell you guys, like, what happened and all the updates, but I don't know. When was the last time I streamed? Let me check. The last stream was 5 days ago. So, what, last week at some point? Friday? Wednesday, maybe? It might have been Wednesday. I think it might have been Wednesday, because I think that Thursday is the time I was overtired and played and lost everything, or Wednesday night. And then I've been using Friday and all of the weekend to try to get everything back. Oh yeah, because... sorry, I'm losing my voice. 1 second. Alright. Yeah, because Friday... Jeezum, I can't talk today, evidently. Friday was the day that I had lost, or I hadn't gotten anything back yet because I had just started to try to recover things. So I didn't really want to stream because I was like so nervous about streaming with absolutely nothing and having to spend the whole stream just sitting there on the spawner and stuff to try to get more of my stuff back, which is why I didn't end up streaming that day. And then Saturday I spent playing games, Saturday I spent mostly at my dad's, and then I was playing Minecraft up at night trying to get a bunch of stuff back. And Sunday I spent almost the entire day with Minecraft at least open. I was doing mostly other things the entire time in the house, and I just had it open on the skeleton spawner so I could get a ton of XP. And then when I got XP, I'd run over and enchant some stuff or combine some things to use it up, and then I'd go back to the skeleton spawner, go do some stuff in real life, and let that sit for a while to spawn, and the cycle just went on and on and on, basically. I almost got everything. I tried my best to get everything. Sunday, my partner got home during the day, so I still had to do other things and talk to him and all that, so I was mostly just sitting at the spawner. And then it's just been kind of the same routine since, I guess. I don't know. It's like, today I wasn't really going to stream because I haven't gotten everything back, and because I have a lot of things to do in real life. I still have a ton of stuff to organize. The other thing that happened was I did get to move things from the house 2 weekends ago, which I did tell you guys about during the stream. I did say I got to move some of my stuff, and I spent a lot of time moving that around, but I still had quite a few boxes left to unpack of it, so I can pack more boxes at my dad's to move the rest of the stuff and that sort of thing, because I really need to empty that room out for him before the winter fully hits. We did get our first snow, but it's not quite fully winter. It's only like a couple inches of snow, so I do have to finish getting the rest of that stuff out of there before winter fully hits, which is like a couple big things and mostly boxes that have to get moved. But I had to unpack the boxes that I brought and the bins that I brought so that I can reuse them to fill them again and move stuff. So yeah, so I've been doing that. Yesterday I finished off a little bit more of it. I still have a few boxes to do, but I have quite a few done. The problem is I have to make doors for the big shelf that I moved so I can decorate the shelf, which is what half of those boxes are for. They have decorations for the shelf. Lou, would you get off the TV stand? 1 second. I love the obstinate cat. She ticks me off sometimes. It's alright, Nixie. Come here, bubbies. It's okay. She doesn't like the psst noise I make when the cat's doing something wrong. Come here, bubbies. You're okay. You're alright. It's alright. You're not in trouble. Nixie doesn't like the noise that I make when the cat's in trouble to try to get the cat to listen. It doesn't ever work on the cat anymore, so I don't know why I still do it. Although, for the most part, because I say it, the dog will, like, go get the cat because the dogs learn that means the cat is in trouble for something. But Lou just kind of stares at me when I do it now. She doesn't really even care that I'm making the noise that she damn well knows is her being in trouble. So, you know, never ending. But yeah, so I need to make doors for the shelf that I brought here, which I haven't done. Which is kind of hindering a lot of the things that I want to put away from the boxes, because a lot of the boxes are either my crystals or my witchy stuff or things I want to put on display. And because we have a lovely cat, I can't put things on display ever because they get knocked around all night. Lou has a habit of jumping on our counters and cleaning off the entire counters every night. She also has a habit of jumping up on my TV stand I use to display some things, and even with the shelf empty, she has already tried jumping on the shelf and has been on the shelf multiple times, batting at things. So she literally always has to make trouble and mess with things. And if I load up that shelf with all the display items I want to have, there's a 1000% guarantee that she will destroy everything on it and will constantly move things, and I will lose 90% of my crystals or break 90% of my crystals, and I will like lose my mind because my crystals are hundreds of dollars of investments over the years that I do not want to lose. So I really need to actually I really need to actually get some sort of way to make doors. I think I'm going to use some old plexiglass that my dad has kicking around at his house and make some doors and then put them on, because then I'll be able to cover up everything so that it can still be on display, but the cat's not going to get it and try to eat it like she wants to and is trying to already. So hopefully I can do that soon enough that I can finish getting rid of some boxes and getting my crystals actually on display for the first time in a very long time. I've lived in this house for over a year and I still have not displayed my crystals. And normally I always display my crystals immediately, and it's really upsetting because I love having them on display and I miss them. And they also, like, energy-wise, I like to have them out because I like to have the energy in my home, so yeah, it's a project. It's a work in progress. I don't want to mine these until the lava's out of the way. There we go. This is a good little bundle. It was 2 3s right close to each other, or within finding distance of each other. I don't remember how much debris we need. We need quite a bit because we need to make full netherite again and full netherite tools, which we have quite a few of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what we would need for number-wise. I know we need, what, 5 per ingot. So we need probably around 50, I want to say, to make sure we have plenty for, like, 10 ingots. And I think we do have a couple ingots left over and a couple debris, like, scraps left over at home, but not enough to be close to the 50 mark. By any means, as far as I know, at least. Unless I have some hiding on myself, which is also a possibility. So that's definitely something that needs to be kind of a longer project. But for now, today, I'm just going to get what I can in the time that I'm streaming to try to get a little bit of progress towards the goal. I don't really want to fully get all 50 today, I don't think. I mean, unless it's easy enough to find that we happen to find enough, but I doubt we will be able to easily find 50 of it. We've found, what, I think 20-something right now, or 20? There's some up there. But, I don't know. I don't know is kind of my statement of the moment, my current energy of the moment. Everything's always a little all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know what the budget is. I don't know how to keep up with everything. It's just too much. So it's a mess. There's been a lot of conflict and tension as well in my life lately, so it's been really hard to kind of keep up with everything and kind of continue to be here as a streamer while still dealing with so much in my own life. Nixie, I swear to God. I swear to goodness, half of today is just spent arguing with the dog because she keeps going after the cat the whole time, and she won't just lay down and relax like she's supposed to at this time of day. And then, of course, because she starts fights with the cat instigates the fights, and then they go round and round and round and round forever and ever. And then Lou decides to jump on things she's not supposed to and makes the dog go after her again because the dog knows when she's not supposed to be somewhere. It is a never-ending cycle. She keeps getting into everything that the dog doesn't want her to, so that the dog goes after her, and then I can't tell the dog not to, because she don't listen. It's like this never-ending cycle. They're literally like quarreling siblings at all times, and it's really tiring sometimes. But I'm not getting rid of either of my pets, so I don't know. I also wish I had my own place, because if I had my own place where I could have more than one animal as far as dogs go, I would probably have 2 cats, because Lou would do a lot better with a cat friend. Every time I come home from visiting my mom where there's cats, she always like sniffs my hand really hard and gets really kind of lovey and rubbing up against my hand, and she's just really sweet. Like, she wants another cat, like, because she smells the cat on me. But we can't have another cat here as much as we're actually technically supposed to be allowed to. They wouldn't let me. They'd be a stink about it, because that's what they did with Lou. Technically, we're supposed to be allowed to have 1 cat, and they made me get ESA certification for Lou to even have Lou. So much for the whole we're allowed to have 1 cat thing. But I mainly would have another dog. As much as I cannot keep up with dogs, I do need a second dog at some point when I can have one, because Nixie would do a billion times better with her separation anxiety, with learning some cues from other dogs, with having something to play with, that sort of thing, if we had a second dog. And my dad is currently getting rid of at least one of his dogs because of the fact that they do keep getting into fights fairly frequently. Oh, I forgot that it does that for the animation of actually throwing blocks for gravel and stuff. They keep getting into fights fairly frequently, so he does have to get rid of at least one of them to kind of try to quell it a little, as much as he doesn't want to, which means that he might get rid of Nixie's sister. And Nixie would do so well with her sister there. She loves playing with her whenever she's there, and they get along so well. And her sister's so sweet, and I adore her. Her sister's actually much better behaved and better more of a people dog than Nixie is. She like actually adores being pet, and she's always like super kind of, hey, give me attention, I'll be good, that sort of thing. She lets you like wipe her with a towel because it feels like pets. She lets you brush her pretty often. She lets you pet her all the time. She loves belly rubs. She just wants to be loved and attention and pet. And Nixie is the opposite of that. Nixie is very much so, I will love you on my own terms, screw off, I don't want to touch you, don't touch me type of dog. Which I don't mind most of the time. It just would be really nice to have a sweeter dog to like pet and actually interact with, and I think it would help Nixie have something else to like be able to have playtime and get energy out more often and that sort of thing. And I think Zelda would do really well with training her sister, because I've trained her very little at Nana's and she's picked up commands extremely fast. And she also doesn't have the separation anxiety issue that Nixie does, because she's been with other dogs the whole time, so she's perfectly fine with people coming and going, because she's used to just being like, oh, whatever, they'll be back. Whereas Nixie's only been around us, not other dogs in the house, and so she doesn't really believe that we'll come back, basically, so she gets super high separation anxiety with everything. Even just us leaving the house for like a couple minutes just to go across the parking lot to grab something or go to get mail, she freaks out every time. Which is also why I don't get to leave the house very often. So, I don't know. I'd love to have a second dog so that she could kind of balance out some of her habits, and to train another dog, and possibly have a dog trained for a service dog, because I know Nixie won't be a service dog anytime soon since she's reactive, and I wouldn't be doing her any good to bring her into a stressful situation like public access. It's already enough risks with a dog that isn't reactive, because there's so many issues and so many risks and so many people that don't know how to mind their business. Like, genuinely, I saw this video on the other day where the service dog handler was in a store, like, just trying to get their groceries and trying to mind their own business and live their life, and this lady was, like, making them stop where they're going just to show the person she was calling their dog. She was like, oh, it's such a cute dog, oh, I gotta show you, answer the FaceTime, and the person that had the service animal tried to walk away, and she like walked in her path and was like, it'll just take a second, let me get them to answer the FaceTime. And it's like, what? No, service dog handlers and service dogs are still like animals and humans, you realize that, right? Like, they have their own lives, they're not just like novelty toys on display. You can't just like use them to show off to people or to like sit there and dote on them. They're A, doing a job, so you're supposed to leave them alone anyways, and B, they're just trying to live their life. Like, think about the person that's just trying to go grocery shopping. They don't need to deal with you being like, oh, your dog's so cute, let me ask a billion questions about it, and like they're like asking like, oh, what type of dog is it, and blah blah, and it's like, can I pet it, and they're like, no, she's working, you can't pet my dog. And not to mention, I mean, the one mistake they did make as far as that is like, they're being kind and interacting with it, and as much as people would like get angry for you being really grumpy or like being shut off when they're doing that, you really do kind of have to start being shut off about it and being like, nope, you can't pet my dog, no. Like, and when they're asking like what type of dog, be like, it is a service dog, leave it alone please, that sort of thing. Because like people genuinely don't know boundaries, and as much as they'll get pissy the first time, it still will make them walk away. So like, you know, that I know it sucks, and a lot of people that have service animals already have anxiety, so it's not fun to deal with all of that. Like, I don't know why it's so little educated about service animals, where people don't know what to do or like to just leave them alone and stuff. I know it genuinely isn't most people's fault, since most of them don't actually know they're supposed to just leave them alone and not acknowledge them in public. And the other thing is, she's like, oh, is it one of those emotional support things? And she's like, no, she's a medical alert service animal. She's not an emotional support animal. Emotional support animals don't go in stores. And she's like, oh, but I saw an emotional support in the store the other day. And she's like, yeah, they don't belong in stores. She is a medical alert service animal. So it's like, yeah, it's a mess. There needs to be better education on it, especially in the US. It's such a mess. People are like, oh, I can just bring my animal into a store. No, there's things called health codes and disturbance of the public and safety issues, considering many of the dogs that people bring in as like ESAs are completely untrained. And it's like, no, that's not how this is supposed to work, please. Please keep your pets at home or in the car. And I love animals. I have emotional support animals. I would never bring them. The thing is people get so mad when you make that point, because they're like, oh, you must just like hate animals, especially because everyone's like, their biggest argument for bringing them into stores is, oh, it's so hot outside. It's like, so leave them at home, not outside in your car then, for one. For two, it's not someone's fault, the weather. You knew the weather before you left the house. Like, you can leave your dog at home or leave them in the car. There's your options. You can't just, god damn it. Get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out. The hell is knocking me into the goddamn lava? Like, you can't just pick and choose that you get to listen, who gets to listen to the rules just because you want to bring your dog in somewhere, for one, and for two, it's not that I don't care about animals, it's that I know better than to bring animals into places that are unsafe. For one, it's actually technically caring about animals to not want pets in public spaces, because they can be in danger in public spaces, such as getting danger of other illnesses from other dogs that aren't like vaccinated from certain illnesses or carry certain illnesses. They can have risk of getting stepped on, getting run into by a cart. They have risk of all kinds of different things. They have risk of eating things off the floor or licking the floor, things like that, and getting sick. They have risk of, you know, being damaged by anything on the floor, their paws being damaged by things. There's so many risks as far as that goes, and there's so many risks as far as they could have an interaction while in a store that makes them struggle really badly with trusting people or trusting other animals. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm on a ramble. I'm rambling about service animals and ESAs. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be alright. It's been a bit of a mess lately, so everything's a bit hectic, but we're trying to find some ancient debris while we chit-chat about random stuff. Currently, I got on a random ramble about ESAs and service animals, so thank you. I don't need any art or anything. I actually quite like making my own with my editors and things, but I appreciate the drop by. Get me the heck up there so I can light this TNT. I also need this ancient debris up here. Gimme. Just barely. It's gonna fall in lava though. No, it doesn't. Okay, good. We'll light this and go pick it up. Aha. I need levels as well, so I'm trying to mine as much of this as I can. So yeah, it's just, I really don't need to keep rambling about it, but it's just a whole mess with, like, people really need to be more educated on it, and the excuse of not being educated isn't really an excuse anymore, since there's a lot of resources to educate yourself. And I don't know why it's ever anyone's first thought to be like, yes, I'll bring my animal into a grocery store when they think of where they're going to bring their animal in, or like when they're going to the grocery store. Why is your first thought, bring my pet into the grocery store? Like, regardless of the laws, regardless of education, why is that your first thought? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Of course my stomach's crumbling. It just doesn't compute in my brain. It doesn't make sense. My first thought would not be to bring my pet into a grocery store if I was going to get groceries. My first thought would be go get groceries, not bring my animal/pet in with me. even in the case of the fact that I need a service animal and I would benefit from a service animal, my first thought isn't bring my service animal with me. It's get in and out of the store as fast as possible so I don't have an episode. Because I don't, it's just so scary to have animals in stores with you, especially with the fact of people are really awful and there's a lot of risks, and it's just not something that comes first to mind for me. Even if Nixie was fully trained for a service animal, I genuinely wouldn't have the first thought of bringing her in everywhere I went, even if I needed her, because I'm so used to either A, trying to avoid episodes as much as possible, or B, just rushing through things so that I don't have an episode and hoping that that works fine enough to last through the trip. This is not working the way I'm trying to make it work. Goodness gracious. Get out of here. I'm trying to get this lava and it's not working whatsoever. Goodness. Why is this not working? Fine, we'll go up and over. We can't go up and over because there's gravel. Really? Let me at this stupid lava pit. Is this the source somewhere? Somewhere in here is the source. I don't know where, but somewhere in here is the source. I think we got it. But yeah, I don't know. It's not ever my first thought to bring animals in places where they don't belong, even if I need them, so it's just weird that people have that first thought to me and then avidly argue when they're told that that's genuinely an illegal first thought or an unsafe first thought. I don't know. Like, I love pets. I think pets are really great, but I don't think that your pet should be out in public with you. Your pet can be at home with you. I don't know why it's like, oh, I have every right to bring my animal in with me. Why would you need to? Like, you don't... If they're not assisting your medical issue or medical struggle, why do you need them with you? I know loving pets and all that, but you can love your pets without putting them in harm's way or putting other people in harm's way. Doesn't make sense. Maybe that's just the fact that I'm very autistic and very black and white with things, and I would love my pets to death but not put them in harm's way, because it just doesn't, it's not a logical conclusion in my brain. Speaking of animals and pets, I do really want to do horseback riding again, and I miss that, and I found some options in my state that offer horseback riding for like a charge or whatever, and you can do lessons or you can do trail riding. And I really want to do that so badly. Like, I really want to do trail riding and just to get back on horseback, and then to do some lessons so I can get back used to tack and care and all of that for horses again. It's been a long time since I've been around horses, and I absolutely adore them. And it's been so long, and I really want to, like, experience that again. So, I don't know. My friend would probably the thing is that I don't want to go on my own. My friend might go with me, since he used to have a lot of horses back when he was in Texas, and he really misses horses as well, but I don't know if he ever has the time because he's usually really busy, and he might not go just because of the fact that it is kind of a bittersweet thing for him because he misses his horses back home in Texas. So I don't know. It might be possible. Maybe I can convince him. Maybe not. Who knows? He's always indecisive. Him and I are actually supposed to go to the junkyard as well to pick for some stuff for his car, or his truck, and we haven't yet because we keep getting busy or running into a bunch of other things. I tried to see him this weekend, but every time I messaged him, he was either not home or had other people over, and he was fine with me coming over with other people over, but like, I was really in a bad mental state, and I was like, I'm not going to be fun around other people. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't think I should come visit random strangers when I'm not holding it together very well mentally. They're probably going to be like, who the hell is this person that you just had in your house? So I just was like, no, it's fine. I'll just see you another day. And then the other day that I messaged him, he wasn't there. So it is what it is. I'll try to see him probably tomorrow, I think, if I get out tomorrow, because I can't today since I'm going out with my mom. And then maybe I can spend the night this weekend for a bit. I know it's kind of weird to just be like, oh, I'm gonna spend the night at a friend's house, as an adult for most people, and also because of the fact that he is a guy friend, and I don't generally associate with many guys because of the whole, like, oh, when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to only associate with the one person that you're dating. concept that straight people have. But he's really close to me, and I genuinely don't know where I'd be without him being around, so, in a lot of my past. So I'm hoping that I get to see him a little more often. Like, being able to reconnect with him has been a really good thing for both of us, since he's struggling a lot, and I love being able to have people to talk to, and he loves being able to have someone to talk to, and I get to help out with his dog once in a while, which helps him out quite a bit, and that sort of thing. So, he was really grateful the last weekend that I got to watch his dog for a while. I just loved watching her. Like, it was genuinely a good experience, but he was so grateful because he didn't have to worry about her being stuck in a crate the whole time that he was gone, and she was able to have a good time while he was gone instead of being anxious, and he got to, like, get out and just go enjoy himself and go to, like, a scare actor thing, Christmas scare actor thing. It was, like, Fright something. So, it was all around good. He still owes me, actually, some food for that, because he said he was going to cook for me, as payment, since I didn't really want to take his money for it, since I just liked being there. So he owes me some food. Let's get this. I do have to get off semi-soon. I have a bunch to do. I need to shower and possibly bathe the dog. I don't know when the last time I bathed the dog was. The thing is that, so I was looking into it because I wanted to bathe Nixie every week, and I was looking into it, like, is that unhealthy for dogs? And it's really polarizing. There's multiple sites that are like, oh no, it's perfectly fine for your dog, it's not unhealthy to bathe them. Everyone just says that for no reason. It's like, well, if everyone says it, there's a reason. And then there's plenty of them that are like, no, you can't bathe your dog every week. They only really need one, like, once a year or a few months or stuff like that. So I couldn't figure out a definitive answer. And then what I found, once I did a little bit more specific keywords and kind of looking into different websites, was you can bathe your dog every week, but the problem is that it does strip their coat of some oils, so you need to either be able to replace those or have a dog that doesn't really need those oils. Or in cases of, like, hairless dogs and stuff that definitely need it because of the fact that they need it for keeping the oils off of their skin, and that sort of thing. So I was explaining that basically it's just a matter of how much oil you strip from them, or how much oil they need in their skin. And you have to kind of find a way to balance that out correctly so that they're not unhealthy or uncomfortable or itchy or that sort of thing. And Nixie's already itchy as is, so I don't want to strip too much of the oils from her skin, for one, and for two, she does need a pretty common bath because she gets stinky. So I have to figure out a balance with like conditioner or something to replenish that a bit. I did find a couple options, and I did order one for conditioner that'll show up in a little while, I think like a week, because Amazon's really delayed from all of everyone's Christmas shipping. So I'll have that. So if I can't do it this week, I'll do it next week. If it's been over a week since our last bath, I'll probably just give her one anyways, because I do have a shampoo that's pretty gentle, so it shouldn't strip it too bad. It does nourish her a little bit. It's like an oatmeal shampoo anyways, so it does kind of nourish some of that healthy skin and coat idea, so that it's not quite as bad as normal shampoos to use on her, but it still isn't something I really want to use every week without a conditioner for her. So I don't know, I'll have to look in my phone in a minute to see what the last time that I bathed her was. I'm just gonna finish blowing up this tunnel that we made, because we're going back towards where we started, so once we finish blowing it up, we'll be closer to where we started, and we can just run back and go back to the overworld. So finish off the TNT that I have, or this tunnel, whichever comes first. And hopefully get a little bit better ancient debris, because we're not finding very much in these tunnels. I probably missed at least a couple pieces here and there, but I'm not going to bother being really specific about searching for them, since I just want to get off soon. And I can always come back this way and look for it afterwards too. Let's get up here. And this gives us a good amount of levels to fix some of our stuff and start doing that. Whoa, why did I get a mention? Oh, it's my mom. I can't wait to go out with my mom later, honestly. It's been really stressful at home, and being able to get out of the house is going to be nice. And it gives me an excuse, since me and my mom use it as like a business meeting for her, so that she
can have a bit of a tax write-off for her business, and then so that her and I can keep updated on all of the business stuff on her end of things and all the stuff that I do for her business and all that, because we usually do talk about work for at least half of it, considering I'm doing a lot of work for her at any given week. Nixie, please stop digging underneath the shelf that I've told you to stay out of 10 times. We did get 50 ancient debris, actually, so we did actually get a decent amount to get things done, so we don't have to use too much more TNT. I think this is all the TNT I have. Yeah, so I think I'll just use this TNT anyways, because I don't want to just go home with like 16 TNT in my inventory. And then we'll go home. I'm doing it in 3 chunks because it pretty much guarantees that they'll actually explode, and then I can check it real quick and then back up and do more, instead of having to hope that it explodes and keep reigniting it. Oh, this is the end of the tunnel, so I guess we won't use all of our TNT, we'll just use enough to get through this tunnel. There's one more ancient debris for the road. And off we go. Back towards home. I might throw a few in the walls on the way back or something, or throw some in a different direction when we get back to the where we started, but I need to just travel for now. We got so close to level 30. I kind of needed level 30. I don't know. I don't feel like digging a bunch more though. Nixie, please relax. You're being a silly puppy dog. Yeah, you're being a silly puppy dog. Don't give me that look. Why are you giving me a look? You know it's not time. You know it's not time. Don't give me that look. What? No. Don't give me that look. She has like a very specific look that she gives when she wants to go OUT. So she's currently giving me that look, and I'm not going to give into it because she's not supposed to go yet. Don't bite my foot. It's not nice. You know better. And stop dropping things in between the shelf and the couch, or in between the shelf and the cat post, because you're not going to have them there. I'm not going to be needing to put away all of your toys in one day. It's very rude. And I don't like taking your toys away from you because you're being rude with them. But I have to, or else you're a turd. Nope. Drop it. Drop it. The toy is staying there. It's not for you. No. If you bite my leg, I will scream. Nope. No. I don't care if you can smell it, honey. No. Yeah, we're just gonna head home. Where did we come from? I don't even know where we came from. Somewhere in this direction, I think. Maybe? No, that's too far. That's not where we came from. We came from somewhere close. I know we like came pretty much out of the portal area and went off to the side somewhere. Is it here? No. Oh, it is. It's through here. Let's just blow this up so that we don't have this stupid wall in the way of everything and unable to see where we came from. Hey, speaking of blowing things up, we found ancient debris. Nice. Yeah, because I think we came from here. Yeah, we did. Let's place a torch here so we know where it is when we go back every time. Let's just throw the last, like, 6 TNT in random spots and light it, so that we don't have to bring just 6 singular TNT back home. Don't be a turd, puppy. No. No, I said stop. Nixie, get off me, please. No. Do I need to put this toy in the drawer? If you're gonna keep hitting me with it, it's going in the drawer. No. Lay down. Lay down. No. No, because every time you put it on me, you hit it with me or you bite me. You hit me with it, not it with me. Drop it now. Stay. Stay laying down, please. Chew your toy and relax. Nope, that's not how this is happening. Nixie, lay down. Lay down now. You know it's not playtime and you know how to lay down. Stop. Chew on your toy and relax. You've had playtime today, you've had playtime last night, you slept, you've had food, you have water, you've had playtime twice today. Please stop putting it on me, Nixie. Stay laying down or I will hold you laying down until you relax. Don't bite me, it's rude. Nice. We do actually need to kill some of those guys for another Wither Skull. I don't think we'll find any right now. And I don't want to look for them. Alright, let's go back. We can trade some of this nether quartz to one of the villagers, the stone villager, whatever. Stone mason villager. Whatever the heck the name of him is. Oh goodness gracious, I am tired. And then I'll have to get off because as much as I want to keep playing for today, I am not able to. Since I have to... Where do I go to get home again? Somewhere. I don't remember what direction's what to get home. I think it's this way. As much as I want to keep playing, for once I actually can't because I have to take a shower and possibly bathe the dog and get ready for going out later and get some stuff done in the house so I can go out later without having to worry about the house, like cleaning and all that as well. Let's throw a pearl into the village or onto the village wall. Fair enough. No, Nixie, I said no. Please lay down. They've been breeding a lot more as well because of the fact that there's been more beds in the village. This guy's awake, so I'll just trade with him now. I thought I'd have to sleep to trade with him, but he's just chilling out here awake. No, Nixie. If it's nighttime, I don't know why they're all just chilling out here awake. I don't think they figured out how to sleep in their beds the way they're supposed to. Which is why I was going to actually destroy all the beds and then place them, and then get all the villagers in the houses for their jobs and then place beds for the villagers there so that they take the beds like that sort of thing. Take the beds in the places they're supposed to, but... I shouldn't have to yell at you for you to listen. It's really tiring. Well, we destroyed our tools a little bit, and probably our armor. No, our armor's alright. But that's alright, we can replace it by, we can replenish it from the XP from smelting things or from XP from killing mobs and stuff like that. Let's, put this in the furnace, and let's go sleep before it fully becomes daytime so that we don't get phantoms the next night. In case it's been long enough to be phantoms, it probably has. I forgot phantoms existed until one of the times I was like going out to fight mobs in practically no armor, to be able to get some XP on the way back to the house after I was at the skeleton spawner, and I got swooped by multiple of them and almost died because I'd been at the skeleton spawner for so long. It was the extra night's worth of having phantoms spawn, and then yeah, I was rudely reminded of their existence. I don't mind them, they're just quite irritating to deal with at times. In my good armor, I don't mind them because I don't notice they're there. In this armor, it's terrible and it takes ages to heal and... well, this armor that I have on now is better, but the armor that I was wearing, it takes ages to heal from their hits and they really damage me from it. Let's do this, and this, and move those around. Yeah, I don't know what we have for netherite. I think we have, yeah, we have a couple ingots and some scrap already. Trying to grab it bit by bit as far as out of the furnace so that I can actually use it to heal these tools from the XP. Make a few more of the ingots and get some more scrap. There we go, we fixed the pickaxe too. Alright, let's take off our armor. Let's do the armor because the armor's maxed out of what I had it at already before. We've got Respiration 3, Prop 4, Thorns 3, Aqua Affinity, Unbreaking, and Mending. We've got Depth Strider Fire. Oh, I did it wrong and I put Fire Prot instead of Prot on it. Ooh, that sucks. I might be able to fix that, actually. So let's just put it on the leggings, which are Prot, Thorns, Unbreaking, and Mending like they're supposed to be. Prot, Thorns, Unbreaking, and Mending like it's supposed to be. This is just Sharp 5, Looting, Unbreaking, and Mending. This is Fortune, Unbreaking, Efficiency, Mending. Unbreaking, Fortune, Efficiency, Mending. Okay, let's see if we can fix that issue of the boots, because I didn't realize I did the boots in the wrong order when I was enchanting them. Because I had boots that had Fire Prot and then boots that had Prot, and I was trying to combine them so that it made it so that it was the Prot ones, but I guess I didn't do it correctly. So I think I just have an extra pair of boots and a Prot 4 book, and I can just do it that way. And then combine them. So let's do boots, Prot 4, enchantment cost 4. Can we do it like this? Too expensive. Nice. So how are we gonna do that then? Do we have a Prot 4 book to try it on? Yeah, we do. Let's try a Prot 4 book to these. No. Too expensive means it won't let me in it, because it's not even saying a price. So I might have screwed that up. I didn't pay enough attention when I was tired, evidently, in adding these boots together. So yeah, that's going to be something that I have to figure out. For now, I'll wear them, but I'm not going to make them netherite since they're not maxed in the way that I want them to be. That kind of sucks, because I actually was planning on having that maxed. Dang it. I don't know how I managed to mess that up. Nixie. Stop. Now. Maybe if I add more to the, maybe if I add more to the boots than just the feather falling, it'll make it cheaper to combine. Nixie, stop, please. Goodness gracious, dog. You're gonna drive me nuts. Like if we add mending and all that to it, maybe it'll let me. So if we make a book that has Feather Falling 4, Soul Speed, Mending, and we add that to our regular Prot 4 boots, oh, that'll cost quite a bit. But then maybe we can combine it since it has similar enough enchantments. Maybe is the hope, at least. I'm not sure if it'll let me. I need more levels regardless, so I'm gonna have to do some trading or something to get levels, and I don't have the time to do that today, so I'm not sure. Anyways, we're slightly making progress. We still need a lot more levels, we still need a lot more supplies. Nixie, get off! Leave her alone now. She is not your personal toy. Get up and lay down. Don't give me a pitiful look when I yell at you, when I tell you normally and you don't listen to me. You make your own bed and you gotta lay in it. I really need more levels and I don't have a way to get more levels. Dang it. This is such a mess. I didn't even realize that I messed up those boots until I was going to... I'm glad I realized before I put the netherite on them, so I didn't have to try to enchant them with netherite. Because that would have been even worse than the current debacle of trying to enchant them normally. Nixie, get up and lay down. Get up and lay down, please. Get up and lay down. Get up and lay down now. Do not bite my foot. Get up here and lay down. This is my point. I tell you calmly 20 times and you don't listen. Get up and lay down. Don't at me. Come here. Couch. Couch. Fine, you can lay on the floor, but you need to stay there. You'd think you'd want to lay on the couch considering it's a lot more comfortable. I'm just going to kill a few mobs as best I can to try to get some of the XP back. And then I'll have to get off because I really want to keep playing, but I have stuff to do. It's going to take me at least a half hour to try to bathe the dog if I'm bathing the dog, and it takes me about 20 minutes to shower. And then I also have to get dressed and ready and everything, and there's a lot, so. My shower itself is actually probably only about 10 to 15 minutes, but it takes me a little longer to do the routine I do after my shower. Which is interesting, because that's one of the biggest reasons that I was denied my initial autism evaluation, and why, like, people, like, weren't believing me, but that were outside of my immediate family when it came to the fact that I was autistic. Because I don't have a really heavy, like, I need to do everything by a routine. The thing is that I have a crap ton of micro routines. I need my micro routines, but I don't necessarily need a massive routine, even though a massive routine does help me. I usually can't have one because of how chaotic my life is. So I usually more so focus on and function around micro routines, which if I don't have those, I can't function. But people don't realize that micro routines are also a really important part of routine, and they're also a really common part of autism evaluation, especially for AFAB people that are getting evaluated as autistic, because usually we stick to a lot more micro routines than major routines, since it makes it a little easier to work around and it's a little less noticeable. So the fact that I have a very specific micro routine for waking up, I have a very specific micro routine for going to bed, I have a specific routine for when I shower, I have a very specific routine for before I leave the house for things, and that differs depending on where I'm going to outside of the house. All those simple little things add up to a lot, because, for example, if I don't do my micro routine correctly before I leave the house, I have a really hard time staying actually organized and adjusted to being outside of the house and dealing with people, and I get overstimulated much easier. Same thing happens with my shower routine. If I don't do my shower routine, I'll feel awful for the whole day and I'll be thinking about it too much and I can't focus on anything. And the same thing for my bedtime routine. If I don't do my routine before bed, I genuinely can't sleep. I will lay in bed thinking about it until I get out of bed and do the routine, even if it's 2 in the morning. So it's a mess, but it's a lot of things that I need to function, and it's something that a lot of people don't realize about how differently autism can present in different people. Because, for example, bigger routines don't always work, since I usually have to change when I do work, I have to change when I do things, I have to change how my life works because I'm not the only person in the house, and because I have to work around kind of how the dog behaves or how the cat behaves on any given day and that sort of thing. Especially with Nixie, I can't do as many big routines, even though she likes routine, because things change every day. Like, I have to take her to get some energy out at least once a week, so that changes depending on the week, and depending on the weather, and I have to do a lot of different enrichment with her, which changes every day, and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of always fluctuating, and it's not something that I can just specifically plan to the T to have a big routine. I love having big routines, and that's kind of how I functioned as a kid, because we always had very specific routines since my little brother was diagnosed autistic, and my mom made the house really autism friendly and autism specific, to make it easier for him to adjust to things. And that meant we had a lot of really specific routines, big and small, and we had a lot of, like, giving prior warning before things change, and making sure we make plans ahead of time for important things and stuff like that, which is amazing, and I really wish that was still a part of my life in a lot of ways. Like, right now, my partner changes things on me very last minute all the time, even when I ask him not to and tell him I need warning, and he'll always tell me things last minute, or change the routine last minute, or ask or not help me figure out the routine, and then we have no routine, and it's just such a mess. It is so exhausting to not know what's going on from day to day. Especially when... Oh, excuse me, I am tired. Especially when the majority of my life revolves around what's going on in other people's lives, since I have to schedule things with other people or around other people. So, for him, a lot of it revolves around what he's doing. Like, the fact that it constantly is, oh, we're doing this for the weekend, until he suddenly decides, oh, I'm going somewhere else for the weekend, and tells me on that day. And it's like, I can't do that. That's not how that works. I need to prepare ahead to be home alone for, like, 24 hours. Especially on his birthday weekend, it was really hard, because he left for multiple days. He was gone for the majority of that weekend, and then some. He was gone, I think, Sunday night and Monday night, and most of Tuesday, and most of Sunday at that. So it was a whole mess, but I'm getting used to it. It's just something that I need to adjust to, and I need to have better communication about. And everyone's like, and I know everyone's thinking, oh, why don't you just, like, communicate better, or ask him to communicate better? And it's like, yeah, I've tried that. No matter how many times I say that communication needs to improve, it doesn't improve, so I just kind of adjust myself and my communication to compensate for dealing with it, because regardless of whether I say something or not, it stays the same, so I have to be able to deal with it staying the same, instead of getting stuck in this, like, really hard mental rut because of the fact that it's staying the same and not changing. I'd rather adjust myself for the situation than try to expect the situation to change, is what I'm trying to say, basically, because I know the situation won't change. It's not a situation where he's going to suddenly decide to communicate with me, or suddenly decide to actually be mature and deal with it. It's not a situation where all of a sudden he's going to have a change of heart and decide to actually care about what's going on with my mind and my mental illness and help. It's not a situation that I expect to change anytime soon, until things get very different. So I can't really just be expecting it to change and working on that. I have to be able to work with the now and adjust to the now, because if I'm not adjusting to it, then I'm just going to be in constant mental issues and mental agony over it for no reason. Like, why should I tear myself up over it instead of just adjusting to it and then figuring it out from there? Even if it is going to change anytime soon, it's still nice to be able to adjust to it and be fine with it now, and then once it changes, it's nice, and it's not like it had to change, it's just nice that it did change. I'm hoping this will give me enough levels to do some combining. It should. Ooh, it's super laggy from all the drops. I have to run around and get the drops before they despawn. Nixie, please get out from underneath things. You're driving me nuts. Driving me crazy, dog. Driving me crazy. Come on. like, let me at him. The problem with just shooting everywhere around me at random is that I can't collect things in order of like when it'll despawn because I don't remember what shot where. And I have to just kind of wide arc around everything to hope that I get it before it starts disappearing. Nixie, get away from the window. We already had Lou destroy windows. We don't need you to destroy them too. It's not nice. Very not nice. Lou already destroyed it. Enough. I actually had to pin our curtain shut and also tape together our blinds a bit because of the fact that Lou destroyed our blinds so bad. And we have to spend a ridiculous... Nixie, please quiet. We have to spend a ridiculous amount to fix the blinds, and because we're not allowed to replace them on our own, we have to pay them to do it. And if we pay them to do it, they charge us $50 per blind. And they're barely broken. It's like one little chunk of the blinds that are broken. So I'm hoping I can just make it look fine until like we get closer to moving out, or it gets worse and we actually do need to replace it, so that they don't make us replace it when it's such a small amount of damage. And then we can replace it when it actually has enough damage to be replaced, type of thing. Or when we move out, whichever one. And so I had to pin the curtain shut so Lou didn't keep going after it and destroying it more, since she kept going after it again every time I pinned it shut. Every time I fixed it, or every time that we went outside and stuff, she would just stick her whole head or her whole body through the little hole that she made in them and destroy them even more by doing so. So I had to kind of find a way to keep her from getting into them over and over again, which the best way I could do it was kind of using tacks to just pin the curtain shut so that she can't get around the curtain, and so that she can't get to the blinds to destroy them. Hopefully. It's worked so far. It's been up for a few days now that way. And then, so the thing is that when we leave, we do open the blinds some for her so that she can look out the window, because she really likes to look out the window, and that's why she keeps destroying the blinds. But we're not leaving them open while we're home, obviously. So we couldn't do it. So normally when we leave, we open them so that she can see out them easier, and since it doesn't matter, since we're not home and there's nothing to see in the house. So what I do is move her cat post over to the other window and open the blinds in that window so that she can still look out without having to unpin that curtain or without her destroying the blinds. And then once we're home, we just move the cat post away from it so she doesn't destroy those blinds as well, trying to climb through them. Since she doesn't usually jump up on the windowsills very easily or very often on her own. So just leaving the curtain shut on that side and her not able to get at it from her cat post makes it easier. It's like, oh, why don't you just move the cat post and leave the window open? It's like, or leave the curtain unpinned. And that's because if we move the cat post, Lou is going to be jumping on our shelf that we use quite often, because that's the closest thing in the same area. And that's the reason we put the cat post there in the first place, was because she kept jumping on the shelf and knocking our cups off or getting in our food or stuff like that. So what we're doing is keeping it there so that she doesn't do that, and then just adjusting accordingly to keep her from destroying everything else. It's a little annoying, but we kind of have to, since we have to adjust for her to be able to not destroy things while still having some semblance of enrichment. I would love to put that particular cat post upstairs, actually, so that she has some place to sit upstairs and to scratch at things upstairs that isn't the carpet. But I don't think we can, because I don't have anywhere to put it right now, and again, I don't want to move it away from the shelf too much. So I'll probably buy another cat post for her Christmas, probably, if we can find one that's cheap enough to fit in the budget for the animals. And depending on what budget we spend on Nixie, since the majority of the budget will be spent on Nixie for Christmas, since it's her birthday and Christmas at the same time, and there's not much that Lou really needs or like can use that we can buy. So maybe I'll try to get something like a cat post, so it's something that she can use and that she needs, and put it somewhere in the house so she has another place to be when she's kind of being adventurous or being up and about and stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure. Also, I promise you the dog whining is not an issue. She's fine. She currently finally relaxed and laid down. She was whining because she wanted to be antsy and in my face, and she's mad that I'm not giving her the antsy time and being in my face because she doesn't need it. if I don't acknowledge her whining, she then just calms down and lays down. So that's kind of what I have to do in that situation, is just let her figure it out on her own, basically. Similar to most situations with children being whiny about things. It's like, just let them kind of, like, help them, but then let them kind of solve problems on their own too, because they don't need to rely on you to solve all of their problems or to make them feel better all the time, because they have to be independent at some point. I'm not saying just leave your child crying. I'm just saying older children are able to solve problems better than most people think they can. It's the concept of, like, coddling a child well past the point where they need to be coddled. There's a difference between, like, loving your child and giving them enrichment because of animals, but giving them, like, a good life and being a parent, and then the difference between that and just being someone that just coddles them and doesn't actually prepare them for life at all and isn't a real parent, because parents aren't supposed to just do everything for you. Otherwise, you don't really know how to survive afterwards. The problem is that parents do that very polarized. Like, it's either I'm going to be a good parent and coddle you and not let you do anything, or I'm going to not even talk to you at all and never be a parent and just provide your needs and then complain about providing said needs or providing anything past said needs. It's like, why is there no in between? Fair. I mean, my point is more so, like, children can handle a lot more than you think they can, or especially as parents, because most parents just kind of want to make everything easy for their child, and making everything easy for them is, like, a swell idea and all on paper, but it actually can make things really difficult overall. Because if you make everything really easy, then what the hell are you supposed to do when they grow up? Or what are they going to do when they're at school on their own, or when they're doing things on their own and don't have you there to make it easy for them, sort of thing. I think there's a lot more capability in children and intelligence in children than people put it out for. So, but the problem is, like I was saying, the problem is that parents either take that as, like, all or nothing type of perspective. From what I've seen, parents are either, like, 100% coddling and overprotective of their children, or they want nothing to do with their children and they're the worst parents in the world and, like, don't do anything for them, or they're genuinely abusive or neglectful towards their children. And it's like, why can't parents figure out some sort of middle ground? There is a middle ground, you know. There are parents that have found the middle ground, but the majority of parents that I see, especially online, are, like, one or the other, and there's no in between. Like, what? Neglect and abuse is not how you raise a child. Coming from experience. Not experience on raising a child, but experience on being the child that was neglected and abused as a means of being raised. I don't know. I also think that there's a lot of cases where people think that children are very, very low in intelligence, but they are actually, like, even not just children in general, but, like, younger people in general. So, for example, a lot of people in the argument of LGBT youth really complain because they think that a child is at that age, and we're talking, like, 10 to 16. They're saying, like, a child that, or even not even that, like, 13 to 16. They're saying that, like, oh, a child that's, like, 13 to 16 years old can't possibly know anything about how they feel as a person, or who they like and feel attracted to, or that sort of thing, and so they can't possibly be identifying as LGBT unless they're being, like, forced to, or the parents are shoving it down their throats. And it's like, that's not how that works. Kids do have the base understanding of things like that. Yeah, they don't have the amount of sexual attraction that adults have, so it's more so a romantic thing that they're talking about than a sexuality, for one. And for two, there are cases where kids do get things wrong of what they feel because they are still growing and learning, but for the majority of the conversation, kids know what they're experiencing. They may not be able to put words to it either, so it's not necessarily a parent shoving things down their throat if they're giving them the ability to have the education and words for things that they can't quite process. I never really knew what I was experiencing as a kid until I was able to find words and find the LGBT community and find kind of all of the different terms and concepts that exist in it, because I felt that way for so long, but I didn't know what it was because I lived in a very conservative area that didn't really talk about it ever and didn't have very many resources on it ever. So once I started having resources, it was like a light bulb went off. It was insane to be able to know that is what I've been experiencing, that is what I feel, and that's normal, that's valid, that's something that other people experience and feel. So I don't know, it's just, there's so much that people don't believe
that kids can handle or understand at certain ages, when I think there's a lot more than they know that they can understand. Because like I said, in my case, I was like 15, 16 when I started discovering my identity LGBTQ wise. But I had been feeling that way for years, and it was genuinely a instant light bulb of, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's what I feel. That's what I've been experiencing. So it wasn't something that I just suddenly decided to do. It was something that I had felt for a very long time and didn't know what to do with, or didn't know how to handle, or what to word it as. Granted, I'm still discovering myself. Everyone's still discovering themselves. I think that's the other misconception, is a lot of people that are LGBT, and a lot of people in general, think that you just have to choose one statement or one identity and stick with it for the rest of your life, and that causes a lot of anxiety of geez, that's a mess. I mean, like, hey, a house, nice, but yeah, that's a mess. I mean, that's the other thing, is there's a lot of misconceptions, like, especially with asexual people. People think, oh, it's just like you haven't found the right person, or, oh, like, you're gonna have sexual attraction eventually, and it's like, no, that's not how that necessarily works. Yes, there are cases of it, but, like, asexuality is valid. Even if it's temporary, it's very valid. And that's the other thing that I was saying, is that I think that a lot of people talk down on identities or get anxious about identities because they think that they have to kind of find one and stick to it forever. And you really don't. You're allowed to experiment. You're allowed to change your identity. I don't know why it's not a much more common thing for people to be able to experiment and change their identity and change where they label themselves. It happens, but then, like, I see the entire community, and especially people outside the community as well, mocking them for it. And they use these people that have changed their identity as like this awful thing to talk down about the LGBT community, or use it as examples of why children shouldn't transition, or why you shouldn't trust children that say they're LGBT, or things like that. And it's like, no, it's a normal part of life, and it's a normal part of changing. I mean, even people that are cis-het will find, like, they like different things throughout their life. Not even talking about sexuality and gender. They will like different foods. They will like different music. They will change their style. Like, this is all basic stuff that happens to even cis-het folk, and it's the same case when it comes to gender and sexuality. Like, you do take time to figure it out, and you're definitely allowed to change that. And yet people feel so anxious about it because people make this whole big thing of, like, you cannot ever change your identity. You can't ever experiment. You can't ever decide you didn't label yourself right. Which is actually the biggest reason that my mom got really mad at me for labeling myself initially, because A, she's very adamant against labels in a way that's borderline uncomfortable and borderline, like, not supportive, which her and I are working through, because she's very much so against, like, don't put yourself in a box, let yourself just exist. But, like, I've explained to her, and, like, she's starting to learn, you can't just let yourself exist when it comes to LGBT identities in society, because you're going to be put in a box by other people anyways, so you kind of have to find a box for yourself that's comfortable and that you can find other people in similar situations from and survive through, because LGBT people are constantly bullied and made to feel depressed and suicidal and alone all the time. So that's a concept we're working through, but, like, that's the biggest thing, is because she thought, like, you can't put yourself in a box because you're going to be stuck in that box forever. And it's like, why is that such a thought? Why do you have to be stuck in that mindset? Why do you, like, I don't know, why is that such a concept of you can't possibly change ever? I've been guilty of that as well. I was really anxious when I started thinking of my identity as non-binary instead of as a trans male, because I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know if I was allowed to change. I still haven't changed my name, because I've already changed my name once, and even though it's not the most comfortable thing for me anymore, I don't want to change it again, because I'm so scared of people's judgment and statements and the way that I'll be treated, because God forbid I change anything more than once in my life. It's like, what? Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, like, if you wanted a bigger, like, since you do have a bigger house, you could, like, figure out ways to, like, decorate it, or have, like, an office space, or have maybe maybe have, like, pets to keep you company or stuff like that. There's plenty of ways to make the space feel a little smaller than it is, but I definitely get what you mean of, like, that's not, like, fair, because they're not respecting your wishes or listening to you at all. And not everyone wants the same goals, which is perfectly normal and perfectly allowed. So, yeah, it's a mess. I'm on the opposite of, like, I feel I'm more gray than Ace in my situation,
And I very much so do want kids in a family, but I cannot have kids in a family because of my personal situation. At least not right now in life, because of my personal situation and my relationship and stuff. Because, to put it shortly and sweetly, I would never put my partner that I currently have within a 20-foot radius of a child, ever, let alone raising one. He is just not a person that should ever be around children. Not in the way of he's like a danger, but he's genuinely just not a person that can deal with children. He can barely deal with the dog, and he neglects or abuses the dog constantly. I genuinely cannot handle the concept of him being around a child. And I'm sure he would do mostly fine, and I'm sure it would be mostly okay. I just don't want to deal with it. And I don't feel comfortable dealing with it. It's not something that makes any sense to me. So it won't be something that's in my current future until things change, which is fine. But everything is, it's weird. Everyone should be allowed to have their own goals in life and not have them determined by the people around them, or even, I guess, by ourselves, because we're determining our own goals, but then we also box ourselves in a lot of ways. I boxed myself into a lot of situations because of the way that I expected my life to be, and now I'm like, well, goddamn, why did I do that? So, yeah. That was a ramble and a half, and I don't remember where it started from, but I quite like rambling about topics like that, so I don't mind. It's a very passionate interest and thought process of mine when it comes to things like LGBT identities and the human brain and psychology and parenting and raising children and all that sort of stuff, because I have a lot of really strong knowledge and opinions and thoughts on it, because it's a process that a lot of people don't take as seriously as they should. In my opinion, at least. A lot of people do not take raising children as seriously as they should, or they take it too seriously, or they are quite, like, just terrible people. Like, very bad people are the people that end up to be parents, so. My day has been alright. There's not been anything particularly interesting, but there's definitely been a lot going on lately, so, like, nothing's interesting happened today, because I wasn't really, like, functioning that long before I started streaming. I woke up early and took my meds, and then I tried to sleep a little and didn't really get to sleep, so I just stayed awake, and then I eventually woke up the dog around the time she normally wakes up, and then I got on stream. And the interesting part of the day will be later, because later I get to go out with my mom for a while and hopefully have a decent time and get dinner and stuff, and then maybe go see my friend tomorrow or something. I don't know. Fire prop, feather falling. I'm gonna have to deal with fire prop then, or make a whole new set of boots, which sucks. I'm probably just gonna deal with fire prop for now. I really don't think it's a good idea to make a whole new set of boots. It's so frustrating. I don't know when I made those fire prop instead of prot. I could have sworn I had them as prot. Ugh. Nixie, hush, you're alright. And then, yeah, it's just been Minecraft, and later I'll be doing stuff, and then once I get off, I'll be taking a shower and maybe bathing the dog. Yeah, it's, she's kicking around. I've talked about her a little on stream, and I've posted her on the VODs channel a couple times, but, speaking of which, evidently she needs her own YouTube channel or something, because holy crap, guys, I posted a YouTube Shorts with a video of her when she was playing in the water one time when we went out, and it legitimately got like 16,000 views within a few days, and now I have almost 40. I don't have any commands, sorry. They're attached to the main channel page. I haven't set up any commands. So the shorts video, which is like not even that long, it's maybe 10-15 seconds of her running around in water while I just told people, hey, this is Nixie that you hear in the background of the stream often, got 16,000 views, and now the VODs channel has actually more subscribers than followers. More subscribers there than I have followers here, from that video and a couple other shorts blowing up a bit. So that's insane. I don't know how that happened. I did not expect that to happen. I just posted it because I was sharing her with you guys like I said I would. And yeah, that's a little bit of high pressure now. I guess I'll have to share it a little more on there, of shorts of her
doing her random stuff or with her training and stuff like that. I'm not really doing YouTube to blow up. I'm just doing it to, I wasn't really doing it to like blow up or get much popularity. I was just doing it to be able to have a platform to keep the VODs on. But yeah, YouTube is weird and blows up very randomly. The same thing happened when I started with VODs. One of the like first few VODs that I uploaded to there from the channel got over 100 views very quickly, which is how it got a little bit of traction on the VODs channel. I haven't checked on it in a while, so I don't know what everything's at for views. I do have to actually finish scheduling because that won't. The stuff on that channel is only scheduled until I think Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime this week. I do have stuff uploaded to it to upload as to schedule out. I just don't have this stuff scheduled out yet. Wow, my brain is fizzing out for English. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really use YouTube much anymore. My main channel that I used to use fairly often, that I had like 50 something subscribers on, I haven't touched in I don't know how long, months. I don't really use Instagram much besides spamming posts once in a while on my story, or once in a while doing like a photo dump as a post. I just don't keep up. That's the problem with if I ever pursued this as income, is that I don't actually keep up with things enough to be able to have it as an income source, because you have to keep up with social media and stuff, and that's just not something I can do mentally. Why was your day weird? That's concerning. Is it like a bad weird or just like odd? Because I mean, there's a different range of weird. Because odd is alright at least, but weird as in bad is not a good thing, and I hope that it's alright. Not to be nosy as hell. I like hearing about people. Y'all are my little stream family, and I love listening to you guys. Well, chatting with you guys, since I can actually listen to your chats. Goodness, I'm tired. I especially want cows and horses because I need leather. Hi, puppy dog. He's a puppy dog. What you doing? Puppy dog. Puppy babies. What you doing, Pumpkin? Why you giving me a look? Love you. What, you want loves? Hi, baby girl. Oh, I don't need kisses in my ear. I don't need kisses in my ear. Hi, baby girl. What are you doing, Pumpkin? What are you doing, Pumpkin? What? What? Hi. Can you not stand on my chest, please? Lay down. I can give you attention while you lay down. Good girl. Ah, not my ear. Yes. Hey, Pumpkin. Ay. Don't bite me while I'm giving you love. Big turd. Oh, big turd. Big turd. You're not gonna like me when I put you in the tub later. Actually, very soon, because I have to get off soon. Casually baby talks my dog on the stream with the mic on. It's fine. It's funny because I spoil her like hell. I keep adding more nicknames to her list of names every time. It's so bad. I call her like baby girl all the time, and I call her Pumpkin, and I call her Booger Butt when she's being annoying, or Booga Butt to be quick. I call her Nix or Nixie. I call her I call her Dummy or Dumbass quite often when she's being an absolute idiot. Usually call her Honey or Sweetheart. I usually call her Honey Bun a lot. All those sort of nicknames. I'm gonna be like the parent that has a billion nicknames for my kid all the time, just because that's what I do. Like, I always have a habit of just adding nicknames to things. Same thing that I have with the dog and the cat right now. I always call them Sweetheart and Pumpkin and Honey Bun and stuff. So, but it's a vibe that I am fine with having, because it's better that than being annoyed by her. So. Interesting. That's cool.
I mean, hey, it's cool to like be able to interact with people that recognize you or like that like your content and stuff. That's interesting. It's pretty cool. It's definitely weirdly a small world when you least expect it to be. I can agree on that. Things always happen like of me recognizing, like as far as like being recognized by friends and stuff out in public, because obviously I don't get recognized as a streamer. But like being recognized like with my friends out and about and stuff, or recognizing my friends when I'm like somewhere that I wouldn't think I'd see them and stuff. It happens a lot. It's weird. It's a weirdly small world at times. Billions of people, and you still end up getting to run into the people that you either don't want to run into or the people that you care about, which is nice. Depending on which side of it you're on. I always have a habit of running into people I don't want to run into, sadly. And people that I don't particularly want to talk to talking to me. But that's just because I am too friendly of a person to be like, go away, please. So I just politely deal with their small talk and them gushing about how they haven't seen me in so long and all that, and then move on with my day and hope to not see them again. There's many people that do not know that I don't like them for that reason. It's so bad. I feel so fake being like that, but I also just don't want to be uncomfortably angry with people. There's no point to be angry with people. I mean, I guess there is a point to be angry with people, but there's no point for me to be angry and hold a grudge against people that aren't even realizing that I have a grudge, for one, and for two, that aren't going to affect my life. It's just like, oh, alright, I'll just keep dealing with this until I don't have to anymore. But I'm sorry. They don't, like, genuinely... So, I know there's the whole concept of, like, be nice to your bullies because they're doing it for, like, they're bullying you because of this reason of, like, they were treated terribly in life or whatever. I don't believe in that, honestly. I don't believe that, I mean, I don't think, obviously, you should be really mean to people for any reason, but I don't believe that being nice to a bully changes anything. I do believe that, obviously, a lot of people are mean because of a reason of their history or other people being mean to them, but I don't think that you particularly going out of your way to be nice to them changes anything about them being mean to you. I really don't. There are some cases that it does once in a great while, but it's not something that's very common. People act like it's a very common thing that you just like are nice to a bully and suddenly they never bully you again, and it's like, no, that's not generally how that works. It works sometimes, but it's definitely not how it works as a general rule. I don't think it works enough for you to just live your life as purposely going out of your way to be nice to them when they wouldn't do the same for you. I don't think that means you should, like, be mean to them, necessarily, because that can get you, A, in trouble, or B, in a big issue, but get out of the doorway so I can, goddamn, get out of the doorway. These idiots. Fun. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with, like, telling someone that you trust about, like, people that are bullying you or treating you poorly and getting out of the situation. I know a lot of people, especially younger kids, will be like, oh, you're snitching or stuff like that to try to make you feel bad about it, but I genuinely don't think there's anything wrong with getting help. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting help mentally. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting help when you're in a situation where you're being treated poorly. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as much as kids want to be kids and say that it's like being a snitch or being a baby or stuff like that. It's really not. It's life is far too short for you to endure being treated poorly by people that have nothing better to do. And you all are, like, granted, you all are kids and you have better things to do with life, and you'll hopefully learn and change over the years, but until something happens to tell them that that's not okay, they don't know or care that it's not okay. So there needs to be change. There needs to be kind of that interaction of like, hey, this isn't okay, and someone that they respect instead of the people that they're being mean to tell them that and make them kind of have a different perspective. Especially with really young kids, not like your age group, but really young kids that are bullying each other often don't even realize that it's wrong. It's just kind of what they've grown up doing because of how, like, their parents treated them or how other kids treated them. So having kind of an adult be able to intervene and kind of teach them, hey, this isn't okay, this is making someone else feel bad and you don't want to do that, or maybe you do, but you shouldn't want to do that, and it's not good to do that to other people.
kind of gives them that pause of registering what they're doing instead of just doing it out of habit. But older kids are just jerks. Older kids are just genuine jerks all the time, and there's really not much you can do about it besides trying to get away from the situation and trying to get someone involved that can help you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Nixie, what the hell are you doing where I hear metal scraping? I should not hear metal scraping from my dog. When was the last time that I bathed Nixie? I gotta look at my phone. Big yawn. Nixie. Nix. Come. Don't give me that look. Come here. Jeez, it's been a while because I'm back at December 6th. And I haven't found it. When was the last time that I bathed her? December 5th was the last time that I bathed her, which is 1 week ago to the day. So I can probably bathe her again fine today, and then I'll just have to give her good conditioner the next time they bathe her when her conditioner comes in. Because the shampoo that I use shouldn't be too damaging to destroy her oils and her natural skin too much, since it's oatmeal based. The only worry of doing it too much is ruining her oils in her skin or fur, which shouldn't happen because of the fact that I love him. My mom's dog Zeke, he's such a sweetheart, and my mom posted a photo of him lounging and tagged me in it because it was so cute. I love it. Yeah, I want to bathe her every week, but I need her to have something that's a little more moisturizing so it doesn't destroy her, like her skin's natural oils and natural barrier. But I do use a shampoo that's very gentle and that has oatmeal and stuff that helps moisturize her skin, so I hope it should be okay to bathe her again before I get the conditioner in. I ordered special dog conditioner so that she'll also have that for when I do weekly baths after this, but that's not supposed to come in until Monday because Amazon's horribly behind because of Christmas shopping. It's on Amazon 2-day delivery and it says it'll get here on Monday, which is a week from today. That's not 2 days. But that's holiday time for you. I am not looking forward to having to deal with ordering holiday stuff later this week. Whenever I have the time to. So, I do, however, have to get off since I have to bathe her and then I have to take a shower. And the bathing her is going to take a while since she's a bit of a turd about it. But, ow. Also, I didn't read your second message about the bullying. I am so, I just now read that. I thought I already read it. I am so sorry. That is ridiculous. And adults are so incompetent with kids being mean to each other. And that's awful. And I know it's not a situation you can really get away from since it's at church and you're probably forced to go to church, I imagine, or supposed to go to church. So, I'm really sorry. And I hope that gets easier for you. That's not at all fair. And I wish I could fix that, but I cannot. I do have to get off though for the day. Sadly, I have to get some stuff done in real life, and I have a lot to do later. So, I hope that you have a good rest of your day and take care of yourself, please. And thank you for stopping in with me. You're always welcome to stop in and vent about anything or talk with me anytime. And I will see you next time, which will be either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on what time I have during the day. I'm trying to get back to streaming again, so take care of yourself, please. I'll see you again soon. Bye.